Most of us start our day with a cup of coffee to stay alert. But what if there's a drink that could do more than just wake you up? One that could help protect your brain as you age. That's where matcha green tea comes in. Matcha has been consumed in Japan for centuries, not only for its calming flavor, but also for its potential health benefits. In recent years, researchers have turned their attention to its possible effects on brain function. Unlike brewed green tea, matcha is made from whole tea leaves, meaning it delivers higher concentrations of bioactive compounds. These include EGCG, theanine, and caffeine. These components collaboratively improve cognitive function. EGCG is a polyphenol with antioxidant and anti inflammatory properties. In animal studies, oral EGCG has been shown to reduce amyloid beta buildup in the brains of Alzheimer's disease mice. This line of inquiry is especially important given the rising prevalence of dementia worldwide. Aging is the greatest risk factor, and global cases are projected to exceed 130 million by 2050. Despite major advances in pharmacology, there are still no curative treatments for Alzheimer's disease or related dementias. As a result, researchers are increasingly focusing on modifiable lifestyle factors, such as diet and daily habits, to slow cognitive decline. Previous short term studies lasting about 12 weeks hinted that matcha could enhance working memory and attention. However, these trials were limited by their duration. To test whether longer term matcha intake might sustain or amplify these effects, a research team in Japan conducted a 12-month randomized, double blind, placebo controlled study in older adults with mild cognitive impairment or subjective cognitive decline. In this trial, participants were randomly assigned to receive either daily capsules containing matcha powder or identical placebo capsules for 1 year. Cognitive performance was measured at baseline and at 12 months using standardized tools. CNS Vital Signs is a computer based platform for neurocognitive assessment that objectively measures and monitors core brain functions. Participants were tested for social acuity, reaction time, complex attention, cognitive flexibility, executive function, and simple attention. The independent variable in this study is whether or not the participants received the matcha treatment, and the dependent variable is the participants' CNS vital signs scores. This table shows the baseline CNS vital signs for the matcha group and placebo group. The number represents the median of the data, and the number in the parentheses represents the interquartile range. As you can see, there's very little difference between the groups in social acuity, reaction time, complex attention, and simple attention. The groups differ slightly in cognitive flexibility and executive function. This table shows the results of the CNS vital signs after 12 months. The estimate measures the difference in how much an outcome changed from the start of the study to the end of the study. The sign of the estimate, positive or negative, tells you which group had a greater change relative to the other. The p-value on the right represents the statistical significance of the data. Social acuity is the only CNS vital sign that had significant results. This figure shows the effect of matcha on CNS vital signs at baseline, 6 months, and 12 months. For each graph, the x-axis represents the time in months, and the y-axis represents the score of that particular vital sign. The black circles represent the matcha group, and the open circles represent the placebo group. On the left, the social acuity score shows again that the matcha group scores significantly higher than the placebo score at 12 months. In practical terms, they made fewer commission errors while identifying facial emotions, suggesting that a daily matcha intake may preserve or even enhance emotional processing abilities, which are often among the first to decline in early aging and cognitive impairment. All other tests were not significant and did not show an effect from the matcha. So what does all this mean? This year-long double-blind study found that daily matcha didn't boost overall memory, but it did sharpen social cognition, specifically the ability to recognize and interpret facial expressions. This is important since subtle changes in emotional perception often appear early in cognitive decline. The results suggest that regular matcha intake may help preserve these higher order cognitive skills, offering a simple, safe, and accessible way to support brain health as we age. One limitation of this study is that the CNS vital signs test may not have been sensitive enough to pick up on small cognitive benefits. This may have limited the ability to capture small but meaningful improvements from matcha consumption. Additionally, participants were not restricted from consuming other green tea products, which also could contain EGCG. Further research could also be used to extend the duration of this study even longer. Given how safe and widely available matcha is, switching your morning coffee for a matcha could be an easy way to help support healthy aging.